It's Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Yo.
How you doing?
Let me give you, I have wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, this morning?
This morning, I was trying to take my inner top off. I thought, so I hope it doesn't show on camera. I have torn my dress. I don't know where. I'm just afraid to look.
You heard the rip.
I heard the rip, you know.
But you just got to look.
I just want to look. I just pray.
Yeah, don't demonstrate so much when you're talking.
I will try my best. Hopefully our topics won't let me demonstrate. Meanwhile, true, Nepa, we have not had light.
How many days now?
It's like 3-4 days. Wow. Not one.
That's not a
blink.
No, you know, we have to really. Is it because they are privatized now that they think they can treat their consumers anyhow?
I don't know. I think Mariam said that
there was one. I was sent a WhatsApp
saying that they're trying to do some kind of maintenance going on. I don't know.
It's
I didn't get it.
Discos having the maintenance. The message I got from my own disco is the generation, the Gencos, having the maintenance that is affecting their own supply.
Right. Okay.
But we are having light. They compensate. They have a way to balance.
Not even a drop since Tuesday. Not a drop.
People should move.
Not a,
to that side of
flick.
Move to the
you know, I was boasting on Tuesday, on the Murayo.
We don't have anything. How are you doing there anymore?
I was fine yesterday morning until I was going home. I was in the middle lane on the Badagry Expressway. So to get to the service lane, I need to take a U-turn. And so we know we have the new bridges. There are overhead bridges where you do your U-turn. Unfortunately, this stench made me see the left decomposing body. And I'm hoping it's not a destitute who died in his sleep that wasn't attended to because he was face down. I called the emergency numbers of Lagos State till yesterday 10 o'clock before the number went through. So somebody spoke to me, and then he asked me a funny question that made me think, maybe that's why they delay some of these things. He said, do I know the cause of death? And I was shocked. I said, okay, maybe I should do introduction. This is me, so and so person. Yes. I'm not going to run away, but I want that body. Because in the West, we have a culture where they say, Bashirioku. Somebody should help. Instead of leaving a body to decompose, you have to cover and protect and bury the body, right? So that way is not a way for anybody to die. That sort of sets me upside down this morning. And as I'm sitting, I can still smell that stench, even though I'm very far away from that place.
Wait till you get to that level. I've been there for a few days.
No. There was wetness on the ground. I traced to the body. I waited a while to see through. And I was chewing at the time. I sort of beat myself. I started to, to shake from that experience. I'd like that today, because I'm going to drive there just to see that body is taken off, because he said they would get back to me.
I'm doing amazing. My hair is looking like your top.
Yeah, the pink hair today. Yeah. That's how you be looking like an ice cream.
Thank you.
So I can't.
There's a name for that ice cream. We know somebody that.
Well, I came back and said, you will be my mother. I don't have a choice. In fact, I knew you were coming today. That's why I picked this hair today to look for your trouble. But I'm doing great. So on my way to work this morning, I just realized that I was supposed to have a meeting with someone. And I remember that the last time I saw this person, it was this outfit I was wearing. I'm like, no, I'm definitely going to cancel this meeting, because I remembered in the university there was this particular guy I always saw when I wore a particular type of dress. That anytime I wear that dress, I will bump into him on campus. So I just assume the person is my enemy. You don't like me. Why you always see me when I'm wearing one particular outfit? But the meeting is important, so and it's better that it seems like it's only one outfit she has, so that he doesn't bill me so much.
Fantastic.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Very excited. How are you doing, YK? Anything else happening? Looking at me like
no, when she's telling this story, I just remember one outfit I had. Every time I wore that outfit, something bad must happen to me.
Yeah.
One, I fell in the gutter. I was in my 20s then. Wow. Once, I fell in the gutter.
Wow.
Another time, police arrested me for one
drink. That outfit?
Inside that outfit. I get the outfit out too. 3 times it happened. I said,
this is not for me, yeah.
Was there a particular color it was?
It was beige. Okay. It was beige. Very silk.
Yeah, silk beige.
It was even given to me by an ex.
Maybe that ex.
They use something.
Don't swear for him.
It's his head that catch you.
I wasn't even my ex at the time.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're going to start with the Punch. Electoral Act Amendment. Senate bows to Buhari includes consensus for party primaries. Lagos domestic worker flees with 13.9 million naira cash. Jury 1 week after resumption. Man who confessed killing mother with stick, dumping body in bush remanded. 3 Ogun teachers beaten by hired thugs, parents arrested. Reps order probe of Malami IG's involvement in Magodo estate dispute. Picture of the governor of Lagos State inspecting the acquisition of the trains for the Lagos Rail project. Fuel subsidy. NEC considers report today. TUC meets. ASCSN threatens shutdown. Cooking gas demand surges over NLNG's 100% domestic supply. PVCs have not expired. INEC counters Tinubu. FG to establish 18 modular refineries in all producing states. Okay, which story are we taking?
Let me take the human interest. The Lagos domestic worker who flees after 1 week of resumption with 13.9 million cash, jewelry. I think, I don't know, because actually she had just gotten a job. Her name is Blessing. With this lady, the lady herself had not interviewed her. Her parents lived with her. Her parents had interviewed her, and she didn't have time because the day she started, she had to go out, and she didn't come back till 1:30 a.m. And then 2 days later, she was going to her brother's birthday or something, and she brought out cash in an envelope of 500,000, another cash of 200,000. Blessing was standing on the stairs looking at her. Then she gave her brother 50,000. Anyway, she went out, came back, and the father, when he opened the door, said, the door wasn't locked. Opened the door. She went inside. She saw that her room too was open. The girl had fled with all the money, $10,000 cash, plenty money. $10,000 worth of jewelry, 200,000 naira, $5,000, $330, no, earrings worth $3,300. Her own wristwatches worth $5,500. Just counted it, Sha. The girl is nowhere to be found. The agents that got the girl says, I know he's not coming because last time it happened, they arrested him. Oh. So this time he's not coming around. So that one, they went to the address she gave. Nobody, no address like that.
Wow.
I think we should all just be careful when we employ people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
luckily they had her picture, Sha.
The federal government on Wednesday said it's working to establish 3 modular refineries in each of the oil-producing states, particularly in the Niger Delta region. So they're going to be having about 18 refineries in the country, 6 major oil-producing states in the Niger Delta, including Rivers, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Edo, and Cross River. And so one of the objectives is to ensure that they stop illegal local refining that's going on and find a way to take in those illegal local refiners into a system where they are trained to, join in these modular refineries that will be coming up. So they're going to be carrying out a lot of trainings for them. And the refineries are going to be 100% designed and manufactured in Nigeria to allow a lot of people have access for good jobs and, ensure that they teach them. There's something all spillage management that they're going to be teaching these people. So those ones who are not able to be captured into the refiners that are going to be working in the modular refineries, they will establish another system for them where they're going to teach them how to manage the oil spillage and all of that.
And they should take into cognizance the environment.
As well.
This young man who was human interest in the Punch killed his mother. He confessed to killing his mother. He's under trial right now, being prosecuted, and he was remanded in prison custody. What he said was, this happened in Ikole Iloro in Ekiti West local government area of Ekiti State. He said that they had a misunderstanding. His 75-year-old mother is 35, had a misunderstanding with him, and that decided to chase her. So I had to take the age because he said he chased her and threw a stick at her, and she fell and died because from that. He then took the body and dumped it in the bush.
Wow.
And the police have picked up this body. He was suspected, he was arrested, he confessed to killing her.
Yeah.
And now he's being prosecuted.
All right, so two lawmakers from Lagos State, Honorable Agunsoye and Honorable Kuye, have raised a motion at the plenary yesterday asking the House to get the Committee on Justice Public Petition to investigate the involvement of the Minister of Justice, Malami, and Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, on their attempt to destabilize the peace of Lagos State and scuttle the ongoing settlement process and enforce legality concerning the issue that happened in Magodo. And they also want them to investigate the high-handedness of the police and the recklessness that was shown of force by the police at Magodo back in December 5th, 2021. So that's pretty much the case. But I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, they got in the House of Representatives to help investigate that. Okay, moving on now to Daily Sun. National Assembly bows to Buhari on electoral bill. APC releases timetable for February 26th convention. We have deployed technology to combat kidnapping, banditry, says Inspector General of Police. Fuel hike NLC begins mobilization for nationwide protest. Nnamdi Kanu floors federal government. Women demand post of VP, says in 2023. And editors, U.S. envoy, XNUJ boss, others harp on free press for democratic growth at the Kano Town Hall. All right.
So major headline,
go ahead, please.
So the National Assembly decided to amend the electoral bill rather than override the president's veto on that bill. They said that it will look tacky. So now what they've done is allow direct as well as indirect primaries for parties. Also, they added the consensus candidate possibility in the amendments. They've taken out what they think that the president had some reservations on and put it back in a way that they'll pass it and allow primaries decide which of these systems would work for them.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to take the women
demanding. Women demanding. Go ahead.
Yeah, if no political party feels a woman as vice president, that women should boycott the elections. They've advised them to. There's a Florence Tagiwa, the wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Ms. Bisi Fayemi. They've just said, giving voice to women's visibility, our support. So they're just trying to galvanize women into getting involved in politics and making sure that women have a voice in politics.
Are the women ready to come out? That's one thing. Because they say we're not handing power to anybody.
That is a different conversation.
When they come out and then there is no support, we now understand that there's a problem of not wanting women to be duly represented.
A woman came out. I can't remember. What was her name?
Jibril. I just remember her name was
Jumoke voted for her. Remember Jumoke voted for her?
Jibril, now I said it.
Party. Shonaya.
Oh, yes, Professor Shonaya. That's true. Okay, so, it's not a hot topic. Go ahead. Let's find out the story.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Usman Alkali Baba, said that the police authorities have deployed technology to combating kidnapping and banditry in Nigeria. They are saying that, so he had to give a speech, I think it was at Akwa Ibom, and then he was saying, challenging the men of the police force to ensure that they use their qualifications in order to adapt to the new policy of deploying technology in fighting crimes. And it also went further to explain that criminality has evolved over time. So no form of criminality is static. As it's evolving, we need to use modernism to tackle this issue. He went ahead to also say that as a result of that, they're going to be training and retraining a lot of police officers. They just started training about 10,000 recruits since last Monday, and they've been able to change their curriculum to reflect modernism. They've given out 20 or 200 brand new pickup vehicles funded by the Police Trust Fund. And these are some of the things that they're going to be doing to ensure they have a lot of They have about 6 helicopters on air at the same time. They have drones that have been given to the police force to ensure that they use modernity. So they're asking the police people themselves to ensure that they attend this training and they read up to understand the new modus operandi.
I was going to take very quickly the story on, because I know that there was a town hall meeting in Kano that happened yesterday, and the U.S. envoy to Nigeria was invited alongside other editors. And she had enjoined the media to improve on issues of professionalism as well as curtail the practice of commercializing political reports and content ahead of the 2023 elections. Furthermore, she reminded the people there that we must strengthen democracy because democracy will continue to evolve, and it's never easy anywhere. And you must customize it for the community and surrounding that you are in. And access to accurate, unbiased information are critical to democracy as they ensure that citizens make responsible and informed decisions and not do things out of ignorance or misinformation.
I just wanted to take the story. The Ondo NSDC command inaugurates female squad and takes takes security to training schools. They have, okay, you've got to go.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let me go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. Moving on now to Vanguard. Convention tension as police take over APC secretariat. Ogoni Oil Shell's exit has cost Nigeria $178 billion, says Muso. Senate asks military to block escape routes of fleeing terrorists. Reps probe Malami IGP over police invasion of Bagudo Estate. Mom, students hire thugs to attack teachers in Ogun School. Buhari writes National Assembly seeks firmer grip on corruption. Kano floors federal government as court orders $1 billion compensation. Fuel subsidy, Labour alleges plot by governors to disrupt protests. And picture here of Lagos State governor who had gone to the U.S. inspecting the Talgo Incorporated trains. They're thinking of buying 2 sets of 10-car metro trains for the Lagos Rail project. Okay, which stories are we taking?
So, Nnamdi Kanu's suit on his, the abuse of his fundamental rights when the Operation Python Dance in 2017 invaded his house, and arrested and, destroyed things, have gotten successful in court. The court yesterday in Umahia ordered the Nigerian army to pay him 1 billion naira compensation for that invasion. They also ordered that they publish in 3 national dailies an apology for the invasion also, and this for them is justice. Justice. I just felt that the courts, considering present reality, because we know the federal government like to dodge when the amount is high, should have given a reasonable amount that would expect compliance. I hope that they pay the compensation since this is a court order, and then we have peace around.
Is this not the High Court?
It's the High Court.
The government can appeal.
They can appeal. Wow. I'm just hoping that they do pay.
Okay.
If they don't want to appeal.
Any other stories?
Yes. So, there's been this, a lot of destruction happening, especially in Niger State. It said on the 11th of January, 2022, 13 persons were confirmed killed in Ishiruru local government, Niger State. Also on the 14th, 5 vigilante members also were killed. There was a lot of destruction that happened. Farmers were not allowed to get into their farms. People were running helter-skelter in Niger State. So the Senate is blowing hot and saying that the federal government has to declare full-fledged war on these terrorists since they have been declared terrorists. They also need to set up a military base in Shiruru local government to ensure that they safeguard the affected communities. And they also directed National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide relief materials to the people who are displaced already and people who are hurting at the moment. And they're asking that the military find a way to block some of the places the terrorists escape from, their escape routes. And I hope that these things are done.
Okay, so nobody took the Shell story, the exit. I know, I had seen it start. So the Ogoni people said that the Shell's exit from farming crude oil in Ogoni Land, River State, would cost at least $178.85 billion loss, according to them. In a statement, he said that the figure, 72 trillion naira, saying it represents all revenue alone as revenue losses from gas are estimated due to non-availability of statistical evidence at the Ogoni gas. So pretty much that's an estimate of how much.
They're just talking about the profitability of drilling crude in Ogoni land. Since Shell left in 1993, they're doing a calculation based on what Shell would, get daily. They said that Shell would have cost Nigeria now $178 billion loss for not being able to work based on what the level of amount of crude that they can get from there.
Okay. But the report I had read yesterday was saying that the reason why they left was because they felt that Nigerian companies are now mature enough to take over from these. Yeah, so they're mature enough to hand over. So, they can't be here forever. And now that
they cannot be, but the abuses, the communities were starting to talk about the level of environmental pollution that their activities was costing them. And they were not willing. That's my personal opinion. No, to clean up. Because they still do crude in other communities where the government can get them to clean up.
Let's move on to Daily Trust. APC to pick chair from 4 contenders. Picture here of Super Eagles and AFCON group phase in style. That's the beat Guinea-Bissau 2-0. Fuel price, NEC recommends 302 naira per litre. Displaced girl raped by aid worker commits suicide. Vehicle registration portal fails as importers decry delays at ports. Okay, which story are we taking?
The poor girl that committed suicide. So, a staff of an international non-governmental organization, Huzaif Adam, 35-year-old, has been arrested and detained by the police in Borno State for raping a girl taking refuge in the internally displaced persons camp. So they said this happened in housing estates near Dalori IDP camp, Maiduguri, on Tuesday. Adam lured this poor girl, Aisha Umar, to his apartment to clean his room, and then he allegedly raped her. So while it was happening, the girl started screaming, and then neighbors, rushed into the room and found them there. Before they could say Jack, out of shame that people had seen what happened to the poor girl, she ran into the kitchen, got a knife and stabbed herself. So she died immediately. The cops have been taken in to the hospital. The police have arrested the young man who perpetrated this act. They haven't told us how far, what else is going to happen to him for now.
All right, so Labour is asking, has directed all its state organs to intensify mobilization for next Thursday's strike. Because of the proposed increase in fuel pump. As we said, the government is saying they're going to remove subsidy for the 18th time, and Labour is saying they're going to be preparing for strike. So they're asking that it will shut down the economy from 1st of February, and it also warned that the strike may come earlier if government makes the announcement earlier. And that's the nutshell announcement. But I was confused because I thought that there was a conversation at the meeting they had, the recent AGM that they had, where they agreed that they are not, and I quoted the TUC president himself, who said they are not against subsidy removal. All they're against is that when the subsidy is removed, whatever that money you earn, how do we ensure that that money is properly, judicially utilized to empower modular refineries, to fix the current refineries, and empower the people. So that's what I thought the conversation was going, but now they're going on a strike. I'm a bit confused again. Moving on quickly to our final about the Guardian, which we might not be able to take.
Did you take Tribune already?
Which one?
Tribune.
There's no Tribune. We didn't have Tribune today. No?
Okay, that was a very case paper. I wanted to talk about our coaches, the 10 train that governor got.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned it. He was in Milwaukee, yeah.
So he has acquired the 10-car Talgo 330 km/h train that is meant for the red rail. That's the Badagry Expressway to Marina rail, and this train, according to him, can take care of 500,000 people daily, you know, going and coming. That will really be easing traffic in that area because we're also a very populated area. Congratulations to us. We're hoping that by the end of 2022, they would have flagged off this. So we're not
As it you purchased or you went to inspect?
Acquired.
Okay, because the paper I read said they went to go inspect.
Acquired this, and he was even celebrated.
They've collected. They haven't. They will deliver, I think, by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
It takes like 4 months to ship it.
Yeah. Okay, great, fantastic.
So, apparently, there was a quarrel between the former governor and the present governor of that state, and
the mayor and
the mayor, right?
No, not the mayor. It was the governors, I believe. Okay. The mayor received our own governor.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, it's Thursday. We're gisting all the way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us on the show. We have with us, joining us as a guest, is Roslyn Aniya. She is a violinist, and the founder, CEO of Vesta Orchestra and Oprah Foundation. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
You're our guest co-host today. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started in finance. I worked at the International Atomic Energy Agency and then the Bank of Brazil in Vienna. But I always studied music on the side. I started with the piano and then the violin. And my dream was always to come back home and bring all of the music from Vienna here, but in our own form, in the African form. And so I started the Afri-Classical Concert Series. And TerraCulture was good enough to give us their stage in 2019, although we had started the concerts earlier in 2016 when I returned. And basically what we do is we find classical music composed by Africans, which is the African classical, because this is what resonates with our people, you know? And there's a lot of it.
Oh, wow.
A lot of it lost abroad because they were published by foreign companies when people went to school abroad, composers in the 60s or in the 30s even. And we're finding some of this music, bringing them home and performing on stage.
Fantastic, well done. So, we'll get more information about this a bit later because I know we're asking you what you're up to. But it's good to have you on the show with us this morning.
Thank you.
So we're discussing family matters, ambition over family bond. That's our focus, ambition versus family bond. And we're going to be using the Adeleke family story as an example. So recently, we know that Senator Adeleke, who was running for governor, recently his brother also came out to run for office, and he brought out a certificate because, you know, for those of you that remember, there was an issue about the authenticity of the other Senator Adeleke's certificate, if indeed he actually finished school. So there was a back and forth on that. So then the brother now comes out and says, hey, me, I have my certificate, it's authentic, you know, and that happened. But the popular singer Davido Do went back to his uncle, and I think he had an issue with the fact that you're coming out to say you're certified versus the other uncle because, hey, listen, who are you to say that, you know? And there's a back and forth going on. So the issue is, in this situation where you have ambition over family, because of your own ambition, because of what you want to do, would you, because of family, step down on your ambition? Would you, because of family, say, oh, they raised me, they took care of me when I had nothing, and because they also want what I want, I have to step aside and I keep my ambition? That's the real question, because it happens in almost a lot of families. We all go through these issues where we are trying to balance family and ambition. What are your thoughts on this? Please call us on 081-270-53687, 09139076948. You can also send us a message on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Let's hear your thoughts. So, family, do I sacrifice my ambition because I have this really popular member of the family who wants to do exactly what I would like to do?
Very strong question, and I like the direction that you've taken this conversation. I believe that everybody should be allowed to fight for and go for whatever it is that they want to go for in life. I believe that, you know, there is no idea that is that special. It's just that the first person who enacts the idea becomes the pioneer. If we're in the same, for instance, if we're all in the same family and we're all arts inclined, we'll likely have the same sort of ideas for the future because that's our scope. But if YK decides, okay, let me start this one first, she will be seen as the pioneer. Maybe I've had that vision before her, but I wasn't ready at the time to start, but she starts first. So what I want to propose is that families should support one another. The sky is big enough for everybody. What I will not subscribe to is playing dirty when family is involved. So we all have the same ambition. We are vying for this political office and all of that. I don't need to use your weaknesses against you because you're my family. If you're an outsider, it's different. You come with your credentials, I come with my credentials, and then we tussle it out. But because you are my family, I wouldn't use your weakness and present it because I want to gain the upper hand. That is where I see what is happening right now. And to me, that's wickedness. Come out on your own basis, on your own merits, and fight for it. Finally, it comes. I will celebrate you. You're my sister. Congratulations. Next time, I'll try again. And then I learn from you. I humble myself because we're family. We should be united even in that fight for our ambition. That's just how I see it.
Yeah. So he is like, the Ademola guy is like using the other one's weakness by bringing out his. He didn't see anything. He just brings out his certificate.
That spoke volume. Yeah. That spoke volume.
Yes.
But can we say, okay, yeah, so I get that argument. But there's another argument of, listen, I am educated. It's a requirement. It's a prerequisite to become a governor. And I have to show. It's part of what I like to show. So we're judging, assuming he's done that because I want to show or expose somebody's weakness. But maybe he wasn't trying to. Maybe he was just trying to say, I am a qualified person for this job.
So this is what happened. Two of them, one Davido's cousin, the other one is uncle, are contesting for this governorship, and they got the ticket for the PDP primaries for the July 16th elections. And the cousin, Dele Adeleke, I don't like witty people who, you know, they sort of do things funnily. Your number one claiming to be this person's family, if you know the history of how that person lost the elections in Osun State, you know that his certificate was on the front burner. It was something that, you know, the whole world came at him for. And he went back and did everything he could to get it. Now you are his family members. You cannot now contest with him and allow your handlers put his certificate on the front burner for your campaign. It just doesn't look well. Contest with him. Say you are so person. This is what I have done. So that they don't do well because in our own customs and traditions here, a younger person doesn't insult an older person just because two people are fighting.
Respect.
So he should have stayed out of the matter or maybe behind the scene, talk to him. But then Dele himself didn't comport himself well. You are campaigning. Ademola is the uncle, the one who dances. The dance. Okay. So Ademola is the one whose certificate was an issue, and he lost the last elections because everybody made it an issue. He's gone to school, he's done what he needed to do, and has a certificate now. And he's contesting again. He picks up a form. Right. You now have your own family member, not the opposition.
So wait, in that situation, where does family come in? Because you would think a family member would caution Davido. Uncle, somebody should have cautioned Davido in that because he's still younger than these two people. Yeah. So somebody should have cautioned. Let me come. Are you ready to get into the conversation?
Not quite.
Okay, all right. Listening. So yeah, YK.
I was just going to say, where does betrayal start and where does, because let's say like we are all colleagues. We're not even sisters, but I think we are all. If I start gunning for a job, and then you too, you know I'm gunning for that job, you start gunning for the same job, Mariah too hears, would I not look at it as betrayal? Right. Will I not? So
this is the clarity I'll put there.
No, but what if the guy with the certificate actually had the dream before the dance?
It doesn't matter. This is no. I'm not saying you should not try. I'm saying you're gunning for a job. BC is gunning for the same job. I want to jump in and I'll come because I know both of you. I'll bring your weaknesses as my campaign point. From from inside the house. I cannot be seen. If you leave the APC candidate or other party candidate to bring it out and continue with that, it's different. But this is your own uncle too. You can't come out and say, that my uncle, when we're small, used to break leg. He sleeps, he snores. You know, it's not from you.
But Nima,
it's tasteless.
Like is trying to say, the fact that she's gone in for that, and I decide to jump into that, isn't that betrayal?
It can be.
Can't somebody step aside?
There
There was a time in Africa that somebody
when you bring out person's weaknesses from inside the family to use as your strong as your...
There was a time as a family that somebody will step aside for somebody.
Yes.
Don't we do that anymore? Okay, YK is coming up, this is coming up. We had a family meeting. Okay, BC will be our flag bearer.
Yes,
go forward.
push this one.
Why don't we do that? Doesn't happen anymore. Now families are contending over each other.
In fact, the family meeting angle is what I was thinking of. He's gone forward already. The first man to make the move has gone forward. And one family, that's the end of the story.
Right.
Family,
So therefore, should it be the end of the story? Let's start from there. So if indeed families come, okay, let's say that all of us are sisters now, and we all have equal quality and abilities to do this task. How do we pick who's going to be the forerunner? Who picks?
That's where the family meeting comes in to play. That's where we will now vote as a family, not take it to the pages of the paper.
But somebody's dream will be suppressed.
Don't worry, they have a funder in that family. Even Dele, according to the nephew, the cousin now, Davido, he does not have any company to show that he can handle. He said, you have not built anything. You know, and if all of them are depending on the chief patriarch of the family,
which is
they don't have to vote. He can then sit and say, based on strength.
Is money now
character.
a factor?
No,
is money? No. On this table, we have condemned money as a factor. In this kind of thing.
That family.
Who made him a matriarch? Is it the oldest?
Who raised Dele? Who is supporting Ademola? He's the patriarch.
Okay,
so this person is the person that will give the support that they need. Unfortunately, the senator that died, that was first governor from that family, is no longer alive. From that, we can say someone from political experience will choose the person who had. But this is the head of the family, the way I see it now. That person can determine that based on your strength and weakness, step down you, let this one go. But not for the two of them. The way they came out, tasteless.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we still talk about this inter-family rivalry. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're talking about the Adeleke family because we want to learn lessons, family lessons from this because, as I said, most families have these kind of issues. And somebody sent a message to YK recently, just now, that the certificate, the picture of the certificate was actually not an educational certificate. It was the certificate for the gubernatorial ticket. So, but I guess what we're referencing was his posters.
So let me
that actually had his certificate, qualifications.
This is what he posted, what his handler said. He said, intelligence with his picture on it and understanding cannot be falsified, stolen or handed to anyone on a silver platter. It takes dedication, patience, and willingness to attain such feats. Right beside it, they posted the poster of the uncle, Ademola, just saying Irawode, which is what his own campaigners are doing. So this was,
suggestive
that,
swipe. Yeah, clearly. And that's what Davido probably responded to. So that was the genesis of the response. Now let's talk about the issue of disrespecting, stepping down for each other. I wanted to do disrespect in the sense that Davido is speaking because he's Davido. If it was just any Tom, Dick, and Harry in the family member, just a family member, would he have the audacity to speak to Uncle Dele the way in which he did? Because he's Davido, globally recognized international artist, does that give him the right, therefore, to speak to his uncle in that way? That's one angle.
His cousin.
To his cousin in that manner. Because are we still going to be disrespectful because we have money? That's another issue. And the other part of that, if all of us are family members, do we step down for each other? Is that what, or are you betraying each other if we step aside?
Yeah, so it's a very difficult situation if the family members are talented in something similar. if, for instance, in a family, we have somebody who is a science-inclined person who likely wants to be a doctor and stuff and going to that direction, another person is an artist, another person is a cook, you know, they are different. But if you now have, I'm talking to parents now, you now have children who have similar talents, their visions will be similar because it's the same line. Now, I think it would be unfair to ask someone to step down for the other person. What you can do is to say, okay, at what point, and if families are really true to themselves and they are close, they are closely knit, so there are families that they are not close, they are divided, you do your thing, I do my thing. In that one, no, nobody's going to sit down and listen to you. Should I step down? I'm following my passion, you're following your passion. But for those families that are closely knit together, they have conversations. So I would have known that you have always had a dream to become a politician sometime. I would have known that you have always had a dream to do this. And if I now, maybe I have the same dream, I've shared it, and I say, okay, I think it's time for me to come out and do this. And you're already coming out to do it. It now lies on the elders, the parents, to say, a house divided against itself will not stand.
That's all.
We are going to be facing outsiders. Why don't we pull resources together and push one person? It has to take elders who the children listen to, or people, if the family is closely knit. If the family is not close, nobody owes you anything. I'm coming out, you are coming out. We'll go there and toss it out.
On the side of a successful, just like I said, Davido is successful. He's rich, internationally acclaimed. He's somebody who has all the wealth, and probably a lot of his uncles and cousins depend on him for one thing or the other. Does this therefore give him the right, I would say, to talk to his cousin, his older cousin, in this manner? Go ahead. Rosalie, want to say something? Go ahead.
I believe in the African respect thing, but what is the issue and can we discuss the truth? I think should be the core thing, not is he older or is he younger? I think we need to move past that slowly because we don't tell our elders the truth. And we need to. Sometimes people's behavior is deplorable and you need to shout and say, what are you doing? You know, so possibly what he's thinking, especially if you're younger, it might give the other person a wake-up call. I don't want this young person talking to me this way. That could be a wake-up call. Whether it is right or wrong is a separate issue, but one should be able to speak up.
You can speak up, but you don't have to speak up in a disrespectful manner. Because I think that, I mean, when I go to some of the tweets that young people tweet to elder people, to older people, they are so disrespectful. They're not tweeting it to me.
Yes.
But I would never, wait, let me finish. I would never have tweeted that to an older person. I might say, Oga, I think you should check yourself, or you know, find a way to couch it.
Just put uncle,
find a way to couch it so that you will know that you are. I mean, they will tell you, hey, I went to Buhari's Instagram page.
Don't go there.
I don't know why I went.
Mistake.
Hey, if you see the insults, hey, I said, hey, cursing. They will say, your generation, everybody will.
Where did you go?
Buhari's page.
Buhari's Instagram page. I don't know who sent me there.
Let me see this stuff from Ladi. I'll come to you, Nima. Ladi, are you there from Abuja?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I think the younger guy, has not done anything wrong.
Cousin.
He's on the right path. Because sometimes you need to force yourself to do certain things. Even Davido himself, from what I've read, when he was about to sing, his dad was against it. So this guy, we should not forget, these are younger generations. And if you follow that family very well, they have a way of organizing themselves. He needs to make his name known, probably needs a voice, and he needs people to back him. At a point in time, I'm so sure they'll talk to him, okay, what do you want? Do you want to go for this position? Do you want to go? I need the support. Probably he has been a person that has not been supporting, they've ignored, they've done something. Everybody has his right to do whatever he wants to do. And I think that it's okay for me. I don't think anything is wrong with it. Thank you.
So yesterday, our guest on the show, Tope Fajingbesi Balogun, said something about being outspoken and the thin line of being rude. You know, and she mentioned that, you know, this generation now, and with the social media, we sort of know how to be outspoken, but we're so rude at it. Is this the person you are talking to will not even want to hear again, because the first line the person hears is insult. Yeah. So you can be respectful in your dissenting opinion, or your correction of an elder. You can say to the elder, I do something. When the person is too old for me, I'll just say to the person, I'd rather be quiet and stay away from you. So if you value my companionship in the family, you will take the step that will make, and then I will be able to address this, and these are the things that I think are not working in our relationship, or that you're not doing right. And I've gotten that benefit a lot of times in my own family. For Davido now, this that he did showed that he's of this generation where you go all out, you don't look at age, you don't look at experience, you just insult somebody. But Dele himself has not done well.
Dele himself,
so I can say he deserves to be insulted.
Because Ademola is older. If we are talking age and respect now, I was going to come to that. Thank you. He's older than Dele.
Go ahead,
so you said example.
Let me Rosalie say one. Go ahead.
Coming back to what Auntie Waike was saying, what you are saying, where do the younger people learn this respect you're talking about from?
They need to
where do we learn it from? No, quite frankly now, where do we learn it? We are so aggressive in this society. We are angry people. You know what? I was watching something by chance yesterday where a little boy comes into a living room to talk to his maybe older siblings or whoever they were. Oh, I needed so and so 30,000 naira for one person. Hisses, one person says, "Yeah, stupid boy." One person, he was like 10. So what is he absorbing? What are we thinking? This is a wider conversation. Nigerians are rude. You can't say the younger people are rude. Where are the guardrails? There are none. There are none. They learn it somewhere. You know, so if someone has to say, oh, I don't like this thing you're doing, they're going to say it in a very harsh way, because that's what we've learned. Unfortunately, what you said is correct. We have to learn how to, you know, but where do they learn it from?
Who will teach us?
Uncle who went after the older uncle. How can you save him in this conversation?
Let me take Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. I come to Waike. Yakub, are you there?
I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead.
Good morning to you all in the studio as well. Moral, you see, when it comes to politics, it is very difficult for one to step down for another, especially when it comes to family. Let me give you a typical example here. You know, Sarati's families, his possession, both Demi and Bukola, they will always go opposite direction. Why? Why? Because if Saraki wants something, then Yusola may not like it. Do you get it? That was the time then Yusola wanted to be a governor of Kwara State, when Saraki preferred the former governor of that state. And then they decided to leave the party for him and join the APC. And then today, what Ben Salah is doing in the APC now today is a minister, if I don't make a mistake. So, comes to Adeleke's family issues. The other one that says that, here we are, I have the certificate and all that. Yoruba was not taught like that. You had not to say something like that. Because it's your family, even though his certificate has a killer. You have to protect your family, whatever happens. But when you say that, all because you are looking for political offices and all that, it is uncomfortable. So, for the Davido, he cannot even settle them. He cannot, because he's a small boy, although he has the liquid in his hand. But the only person that can settle them is already late, which is Adeleke, Isaac Adeleke. But come to think of it, the party has a role to play in this kind of situation. They should call both of them together and then let them know what they want.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jacob. So there's something called domestic politics. Even in our homes, we are all politicians.
Yeah.
How you play politics with your husband, with your siblings, there's political games everywhere. And it's important that we know, because at the end of the day, we want peace. I think I will share this story. It's a personal story. I think it was during that time where, Tokwe on the show started this real estate business. You know, when Tokwe started, you know how Tokwe now, she's a huge marketer. Once you hear, you think, you go to go and buy all the houses. Tokwe was going on and on about this housing, and she was excited, and it was exciting. And she was doing well, and it was happening. And it was happening for her. So we're all happy for her. But one of the people that she was working with reached out to me. I said, well, okay, so Tokwe is successful. She has done this. I would like to also use you for the same thing. And I think I called you.
Yes, you called me.
this thing, this person is enticing. It's really attractive because the way they are doing that, you make money overnight. I said, it was interesting. And I said, and I ran it by another sister. I said, what do you think? She said, Mara, you think about it. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody stop you from doing it. But I went back home. I said, this is something Tope is getting very passionate about. I'd rather galvanize to support her vision. So I told the person respectfully, I appreciate your offer, but I'm not going to go ahead. I know you can use me, but I choose not to because Tope is in that space. I would rather support her because she's my sister in this thing. And everything we have, we'll support her. Real estate, we'll support, what's that company name? So that's what we're saying. There's politics and domestic everywhere.
Yeah, but it was easy for you to easily, relinquish getting into the business because it's not your passion.
It wasn't Tope's passion. She made it her passion. Tope wasn't passionate about it.
No, listen. I want to come from one angle quickly, please. So let's take, for instance, you people know I've always wanted to be an actor. It's a passion I've had from the first time I appeared on stage was at the age of 16 with Jaguar, the late Jaguar in Delta State. And I've always wanted that. And then probably somebody else starts it on the show here. It's something I've been nursing and trying to get my hands on the script and everything. And then I'll now say, because somebody has started before me, let me not go ahead. It's difficult because it's my passion. And that's what I'm saying. So for this business, it wasn't, you wanted to make money, quite all right. But there are other angles that you can make money from. It wasn't pressing. There was no need to.
So if it was pressing, should I go ahead and do it?
When is your passion?
If I didn't have, no passion, no. The person, listen. No. Let me come to YK.
Acting is very different from what Mariah is talking about, real estate. The both of them will sit down here and be saying, let's come and buy in my house. Come and buy. But acting, I can act a role, I can act a villain, you can act a good person in the same movie.
But I did the same business with Jumoke.
Let me give you a personal example.
Coffee business at the same time. It was business and we're doing the same business, but we had a different market.
Wait, that's what I'm trying to say. When we started Positive Force, my brother's band, people used to come to try and break us up. You need to go and you need to be a last child now. Go and start your own band. And I used to look. Apart from that, I can't sing. I used to look. But if I was a greedy thief, I would be saying, because they will be needling you. They will come and needle you so that you will fight your sibling.
But you're not a singer, so it was easy for you to.
Wait, let's go on a break. Let's go on a break. Wait, let's go on a break.
If I wanted fame at any cost,
she could have done it.
But you're not a singer.
Like, no, I will do it. You don't have to be.
No, at cost.
I'm telling you, this thing that Tope is passionate about, she grew it. She didn't wake up to say I wanted to be a gradually. So I can become passionate about it. Because this is where the money is. I'll be passionate about it. I will find the passion.
We were building something together. Do we have a call?
Let me go on a break.
Okay.
When I come back, I'll let you finish it. Okay. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing siblings, rivalry. YK talked about how people were nudging her to also start her own band because, hey, she's Fela's daughter. She has the same platform and access that Femi has, So these are things that happen between siblings. And I had given examples of the fact that, yes, I have seen situations where people, I was also offered, different things. And I had to open myself, say, no, I'm going to step back on this. But you're going to ask me a question.
You stepped back because that was not the only. So if you were struggling and you had no other choice, you had no other hope, and you are passionate about selling. So it's not about probably you can sell anything. You have that passion. You want to make money for your auntie. You will not step down. Okay, so you step down because, okay, I have other things that's fetching me money. I'm doing other things. Why do I want to struggle in this line of business with this person? Let me give her her space. That's the reason you step down. For some other persons, it's not the same. They have different options. They have no other way, and this is what they are really.
So let me advise. Let me advise that person.
Okay.
If your sister, for example, gets into a space.
No, this one not be sister. Okay. No, let's separate it.
No, we're not talking about.
Started from the beginning to say. If the family is united, I started from that beginning.
Yes, now.
And you can have a conversation and say, why don't we push this person forward?
Yes.
I said that already.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But now we're talking about colleagues. We are colleagues.
Okay, so my colleague. So okay, my colleague went ahead in space.
Yes.
Now, because I have absolutely no other option, I'm desperate. I'll let my colleague go ahead and flourish. As you're flourishing, you'll be the one to train me or to expose me. I won't go through somebody else and say, come and help me compete. No. I'll let you go ahead. Right, let me finish. I'll let you go ahead. Learn it, become the expert, and then I'll learn under you, because therefore you will now be happy to bring me up. Because
how other things you're doing?
You hire me.
May we talk?
Okay, talk.
Moriah, what you're missing on this is that somebody reached out to you in the same field with your colleague, now supposedly close colleague. And that person is trying to make you his strong point in competing
with my colleague.
With your colleague. That's how it's done. That's how it is. No, the person will pay you. The person will pay you. But you are now the instrument with which they are fighting someone you know.
Yes.
This is business. This is not about fights. I'm just using the example. Competing with somebody, using their friend's strength to compete with them. If you look at it from that side, it's not something you would do. Look, it's not something you should even do. You see that saying you are desperate.
We don't have capitalists on this.
Wait, that saying you can be a capitalist. Okay, now we're even talking. Sorry, we're talking about something about that you are selling. You can market anything if you're a market. Me, I'm a marketer. If I'm selling something, I don't have to sell this mug. If she's selling it, I can go and sell phone. I will still sell.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Rosie, I'll let you jump in here.
I need to say something. I need to say something because it is what is killing black people all over the world, not just in Nigeria, all over the world. They use us against each other. It's the easiest thing to do. And let me tell you what happens. Nobody will even pass a ceiling.
At the end of the day.
You will stay because they have used you and they have...
You have spread yourself thin.
Exactly. So, what in positive force, if they had used me, we were doing the dance. And the dance
and you're supporting,
and people were noticing the dance. So today, I am known as
dancer,
dancer.
Yes.
Because we did it and we did it well. Instead of me saying, this is my brother,
I will never agree.
So I will bring him down, I will bring myself down. Two of us will remain here. And this is what they use against black people all the time.
Thank you for raising that. So what you could have done, that marketing power that you have, that opponent wants to use you for, you can come to your sister or your colleague and say, this is what somebody has offered me. Can you do the same? I'm willing to do it for you till you grow, so you can pay my worth. And that person should have the open mind too, to say, no problem, let's do it together. And I'll bring this Tokwe issue. When Tokwe started, that was how it was. But now I'm negotiating Tokwe. I can't be bringing my client's properties to you. At the normal rate. I'm not your normal client, you know. So let's sit down and do the math.
Let me take this call and I'll come to Rosaline. Good morning, are you there? Godwin, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, you're live.
So I was listening to your conversation between Davido and the other cousin. Actually, I was following his handle since yesterday. Davido getting angry about his cousin's ambition and so on. But there is more to it, than the ambition itself. Because there was a statement Davido made, one of the handles, that it was saying some things about my mom and the lies against me. So there are some things, not even with the ambition with the other cousin. There are other things that are involved that made Davido to come out. From my own opinion, there's nothing wrong for any of the family members to go for that ambition, the same ambition that one of the members have done before. But have they discussed about it? Did any of the members of the family know that, okay, I still want to go into your line? Have they accepted it? That is the problem. There's nothing wrong if one member of the family does this. Okay, I want to do this too. But in what way did they bring it? Is it very insulting, or we're trying to put the other one down due to the fact that maybe it's better?
Thank you, Godwin, because Godwin has made a very important point. Let's just assume that a conversation was had in the Adeleke family. Okay, this guy too wants to run. And then there was a conversation. And everybody said, no, chill, like your senator is already there. Don't do it. And then they didn't allow him. Everybody saying, no. But he has an ambition. In his heart, he feels he can be the best governor for this state. So should it, because all of you are seeing the money that the senator has, or you're seeing Davido, you're seeing everything, you're seeing that the family, those who have the, I'm just using this hypothetically speaking, that those who have the pockets of the deep pockets are leaning towards this person. Because of that, all of you now are working against me because I don't have that deep pocket. I'm like, with or without you, I'm going to go for this. I might just be able to convince the people. So should we, because family has discussed, not allow this man to go for his ambition?
This man is younger.
Okay, go ahead.
Ademola is older. Now, if you step aside now, you've already established that you'd like to go for governorship. This is enough time for you to get the experience because you never go for any office before. You have not go for anyone. At least Ademola go senator before he came back to governorship. But you have not go anyone before. You can take time now to improve on yourself, develop, and get ready. 2027 is already close. If family decides that you should step down, except that you people think the intelligence is still an issue.
Yes.
Except
I'm putting that out there. That the only reason why family is allowing is because this person has a deep pocket. Hypothetically speaking. That the only reason why they are all aligned because but me, I'm more intelligent. I have the capacity. I have more the requisite knowledge. I have all the credentials. Shouldn't I be giving the support? Let me come to you, Rosalie.
Okay, go ahead.
It's deep. The matter is
deep. I know.
And like you said, you were talking about deep pockets and all. I don't think any of that matters when it comes to family. If we were discussing ordinary people, I call you my sister because we've known each other 15 or 20 years. It's serious, but it's not as serious as family. I think with the family thing, it becomes a lot more complicated. And then the way you look to outsiders also becomes an issue,
Okay.
So it's a tough one.
Before you just...
Okay, I also need to pause you. I have a call. Ibrahim, are you there? Ibrahim, go ahead. Yes, YK.
And when your view started, I want to bring it home. When your view started, and Mariah started doing your view, then somebody comes to meet me. You can do your own talk show. I will say, okay, yes. Then Nima or Tokpe, you can do your own talk show. Then what will happen? You know where your view has grown to now?
Yeah.
It will not have grown there because we would have brought it down by everybody doing their own talk show. Instead of staying as one. So I think Africans need to learn
how to
unity.
and collaboration.
As one, sacrifice.
As one, you will rise beyond your imagination. When you divide it, you will all fall.
With the broom example,
and we'll keep doing that.
That broom example is the greatest example our mothers and ancestors have used to exemplify this example of unity. So as a group, what you can achieve based on what everybody is bringing to the table,
the strength,
is much more than what you can do individually if you are all separate. So I might certainly have certain peculiarities and differences that you don't have. But when we put it together, people will see it. People would only see the bond, the strength, and love. But if you start doing it, you'll be struggling here. I'm now be asking for numbers.
On the same level struggling.
Okay, let me take this call. Motayo from Ilaro, Ogun State, I think. yeah, go ahead, Motayo.
Hello.
Good morning, Motayo. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Please, will it be wrong to say that Ademola knew about Dele? Will it be wrong to say that Dele knew about Ademola's challenges? That's one thing. The Yoruba would say if a stranger knows where a black man is buried, then an insider's hand is there already. Bí àlejò bá ti mọ sàréè ibi tí wọ́n sin afọ́jú sí, àwọn onílé wọ́n mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Adeleke's dynasty is different from that of Saraki and Beni's relationship. They are one. They live together, they eat together. And the companies they have, all the companies, they operate it as one entity. So it is wrong for Dele to betray, permit me to use that word, to betray his uncle. If you listen to all that he's been saying, you can
see that he is a betrayer.
Thank you, Marcel. So, Rosalind, wait, do you agree with him that this is a betrayal? This is an issue of betrayal?
I love my family. I would see it as betrayal if one of my family members did that. Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, I agree.
Simple.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, I'll come back to TBC. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue that happened within the Adeleke family, and we're learning from them because we don't like talking about people, but we want to, but we like to learn lessons, you know, life lessons from these kind of issues. So let's take a few messages from social media.
Can I take 5 of
Please,
this?
go ahead,
Very
please.
interesting tweet. So Famous Mula says, I think they should have had a family meeting. Maybe Dele did not want to step down. That's why Davido had to come out on him. I just feel that they will settle. Omashi now went, that one went for the jugular. I said, a musician is not a politician. While a politician is not a musician. Is Dele an outcast of the Adeleke family? David, chill. Allow Dele express his political dreams. By the way, the family is politically inclined, supporting BC. And you know when they said, a musician will not screen an aspirant, David. Allow PDP do the screening, please. Forget building a single thing in his life statement. It's a sign that David has been beefing the cousin from day one. Amtrachi now says, the infant's head does not bend when the elders are in the market. Elders know they own a family. Amtrachi now finishes and said, people want son Osun state to Adeleke state. On a sit down there, they argue.
Oluwaseun says, both should see it as a strategy to just build a political dynasty in Osun State and agree to run against each other. Ile Loma Jasi, it will be a win-win. Sam Olu says, I'm just getting insight to all the hula baloo. I was wondering why Davido was ranting before. Meanwhile, Dele betrayed his uncle by using his flaws against him. The opposition can use all this against them.
Coven says it's not about the academic grade, but the intellectual ability to mitigate problems facing the society as a governorship aspirant. So Davido should count his words properly.
Let me take this call. Femi from Adeokiti. Good morning, Femi.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
This is Femi from Adeleke.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Now, I want to contribute to the issue of the saga between Adeleke and his cousin.
Yes.
The issue is about when it comes to business, you have to see that there are some ethnic groups in this country that they do business together, and they all strive, doing good in the business. But when it comes to politics, as in this stage, the family issue must take priority, as in they must look into it from the family's background. Let's look at it on the other part that if they are from different parties, I mean they have entered through different parties, at least they have to still at the top when the state have to take it as if they have to vote for them. Then that at that stage, either of the two persons will come up to take up the post of the governorship. But in this stage, the family must come in because they are coming through the same party. At the end of the day, the two of them might be a loser. So, but if it has to do with business, in a setup of some ethnic group in this country, you go to Alaba, you see a lot of people, the same ethnic group, doing the same business and thriving good in that business. And that makes them to be a person that is very good in that area. You can't take business away from them. So
Right.
this is my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi. So he's saying that they've even scaled the first hurdle. They're in the same party.
Yeah.
They were in the separate parties won't be speaking all this English because they'll definitely dig all the dirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're in the same party. So that's where family, according to him, should come in.
Yeah, but
That-
for the party to even give two of them from the same family tickets,
Now
they're
get
seeing
money.
things. They're even seeing things that probably we're not seeing. While I understand that collaboration is the new competition, collaboration is the new competition. It's good that we find ways to support each other and we grow. But there's something I noticed. Sometimes you think you're intelligent. You think you have the capacity. You think if you put me in this position, I'll do well. And your family members know your weaknesses. They are looking at you. They know all the things you do in the closet. They are looking at you. And they say, this person cannot represent us. Why don't we push this person? So from the outside, you think that they are divided. But they know, probably they have spoken to you. Can you step down and you don't want to listen? And you're still going ahead. And they're saying, we cannot push this one forward because this one will disgrace us. Let us push the one we think we know. So sometimes it's good to ask questions. Ask, how do you think I am? You don't even need to know the name of the person who is saying what. If there's anything you can, write and just say, this is what we think you are, this is how we think you can do, this is how, so that you reflect. We don't reflect in this country, and everybody wants to believe that they are all intelligent and all-knowing.
What if the two of them start running for the governorship and they are both from different parties? What will we now say? That it's an Adeleke
Country.
So, I mean, things will get dirty, obviously, because somebody wants to win. But I guess still family would have to still come in together at some point.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
Family
Because
in both
what if
situations.
they are both from two different parties and their family members?
Okay, I need to take this call from Timitoke, but I want to also go back to the issue of respectfulness. I'd like you to think of a response to that. Respecting, yes, we've agreed. You said earlier that you can speak your mind, but we say it respectfully. But going forward, because I know we said it during the break, how do we begin to help young people today speak without disrespect? And I think YK alluded to it, even during the break. I want you to say it on air. Let's take this call from Timitoke. Are you there? Hello, Timitoke, are you there? Okay, I think we lost that call. So they tell us, speak your mind, tell a child, say it as it is, communicate, open your mouth, speak. And then you say they are being rude. Is it that we're speaking with two sides of our cheeks?
Of course, that's what we do in Africa now. You talk this way and then you talk this way, and you say, you should wrap it this way and wrap it that way. No, to help younger people, I think it starts with the school system, really, and these kinds of conversations where there's attention brought to the fact that we can address things in a particular way. Where Africans were expressive, where Nigerians were loud.
Yeah.
We
change that?
We can. There's always room for refinement. There's always room for refinement, and young people need to see it, to absorb it. So the task is on everyone.
So we are the ones that are rude. Just like you said earlier, we are the rude ones. And that's why they're taken from us.
Before.
Ima, you want to jump in here?
No, I wanted to say that the beauty of contesting against a family member is, that you have that love above everything. So even if Dele was going to contest against Ademola, you just continue to highlight your strength without highlighting or going at anybody's weakness. If you must sell the same business, because the last caller was saying, at that example, if you go there, what you see is love. If you come to one person's shop and they sell the same business, and the person and you want a 20 dozen, for instance, and the person only has 6 dozen, he will say, I have everything.
The boss now.
He will say, I have it all, I'm coming.
Let me go to my brother's shop.
Chinedu, bring 6 dozen, 20 dozen will complete. Yes, and all of them will take profits.
Yeah.
True. Everybody's happy. True. So that's not competition still. That's still love. Yeah. And it's possible to exist like that instead of the way YK is explaining that.
So you're going back to what BC was saying earlier. You're going back. You have just landed where BC was saying.
No.
That we can all be actors. Yeah. And if I get a role, what they call, I'm on set. They give this role. Nima, please audition for this role. It's coming up. We're in the same. So we're not we're competition.
On that.
Yes.
There are certain fields where this is possible.
Yes.
But when you come out for an elective post, since Dele say you must contest, that's why I say do it from a place of love. Be careful. Let your handler get the brief. Let their eye be clear. That
do not play dirty.
Don't play dirty.
Yes.
Especially against your family member. One example that YK gave is the one that clearly says what you were saying.
Yeah.
You're not in the field, but your friend, colleague, of person and you have some love for, it's not a stranger to you, is in that field. And you would have felt if you did not have any reason to support that person would be the best thing. Then somebody now comes and says, but you have numbers I need. I'm in that field. I need your numbers, and I want to use to compete against your... The first thing you will do is go back to that your friend and ask, do you think you need my numbers? Can it be of help to you? This is what I have. Give that person the first right of refusal. My dad did something that shocked us. When he was consulting for a multinational oil company, somebody then came. He wanted to retire. You know the way Nigerians are. And he wanted to take that contract. He knew the owner of the contract. He did not have the knowledge. My dad's strength was how that company was faring. He then said to me, you are the strongest link this man has. I need you. Come to me. My father said, if he comes to that, I would retire fully. And that was how he retired. Over the years, I used to blame him and think, you know, but when I sit down now and look at things, I prefer that. Because what he got was peace
of mind.
And integrity.
Integrity rather than lack of conscience. Even though that man did not appreciate it.
Integrity, I'm happy you brought up integrity. And our youth just need to learn. You can go against your elder. You don't have to be insultive. You don't have to say old fool. You don't have to say big head. You don't have to say idiot. Those are bad words. I can talk to my elder by saying, excuse me, it's not like that. It's like this and blah, blah, blah. Without saying insulting words, insultive words. Why do we...
And he has such a huge following. So if people see Davido saying stuff like that, they can say that to their own uncles and daddies in their houses.
Ntibwe, not my house.
But Rosalind said something about the example. Even I did this once. So driving and someone just came, don't be stupid. And the next thing I heard my two children arguing, don't be stupid. You know,
they picked it up.
They just picked it up.
Yeah. And you know, and I agree. Because we need to learn what we say where our youth are. You know, when you say bad words and your grandchild
is watching,
they're going to repeat it.
Yes, of course. And I think it's normal.
To even know the meaning. You that you said it, you are the one to be.
Yes.
Does this stem from a place of not being emotionally intelligent? We don't pay attention to how people feel like what we say to them. We just, I'm pressed to say this, I'm pressed to say my mind, and I say my mind and I move on. And I'm not paying attention to how I've said my mind is making the next person feel. So if we start paying attention to, giving room to empathy, how will I feel if somebody said exactly the same words to me? Maybe to help us calm down and articulate.
We have to wrap up on this. So let everybody get their last words on this. What would you say to Davido, his uncle or his cousin in this matter, in this issue? What would you advise if you are an advisor in this matter? Who do you want to go first?
I would say, do unto others what you want done unto you. That's number one. If you know that you can take it, don't give what you cannot take.
Yeah.
And remember that you self will get old one day. As long as you have not intended to die at 30 or 40, you will get there, and the same thing that people are demanding from you, they're going to demand. You are going to demand from.
Your final words on this.
To Davido, I would say that you only have your fame for as much as you do. Don't make Dele's handlers your example of how to treat your family members. Don't make him an example. You just might get to that age, your fame and everything is no longer there, and somebody does it to you. How will you take it? So set the right tradition that you'd expect would favor you, your elders now, and come around to favor you when you're older.
Rosalind?
Yeah, well, I won't put the onus on the young person. I'll put it on the older ones to call everybody together. Let's get some peace, you know. That's what I would say.
I would say when it comes to family, let love lead, and don't take your issues outside. No matter how aggrieved you are by what one family member has done, call a meeting in your house, in your closet. Nobody needs to know, and address the issues. Be truthful to each other and address the issues, and leave it there.
And there's something called domestic emotional intelligence. I think I initially called it domestic politics, but you know you have to play the emotional intelligence, know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and how to make that person feel, especially within family. So important. So let's learn how to talk to each other in family. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we get to know more about Rosalind. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we still have Roselyn Ania with us. And she'll be talking about her role as a violinist. Tell us about how you started this journey and how you made it to this point in your career where you came back to Nigeria.
Okay, so I played piano from, I think, age 5 or 6. Played truancy for a while. Didn't like the piano. Dropped it when I went to boarding school. And about age 19, 20, I missed playing music. And so I went into the violin. I picked that up. I went to Vienna to school, and I continued with that. But I always wanted to come back home because my parents had always drilled that in, that your home is where you build. And the white man has built for his children. The black man should build for his children. You know, so that was always at the back of my mind, what to come and what to contribute, basically. And at some point, I took a year off work and went to England to study violin restoration because I figured if I was coming home to do this and the musicians don't have a workshop to repair their instruments, it won't make a lot of sense, you know, because I wanted to sell instruments. I have a violin workshop now where I repair, I sell, you know. And so I figured I'd have to do that because there's nobody who does it in West Africa. So I took a year off work, went to study that in a workshop in England. And when I finished, I was almost ready to come home. I came home, set up the workshop, and started the orchestra. But we started with just 8 people. At the time, we were Vesta Violins, and then we grew to Vesta Ensemble. Now we're Vesta Orchestra and Opera Foundation. And basically what we're doing is providing a stage for performing arts professionals. So all these young people graduate from Unilag and Nsukka and University of Ibadan. They are so talented. They are formally educated, but Nigeria doesn't have any stages for them to perform. And so they go into odd jobs, which isn't good because we can use these people to project a different national image. It's not every time 419 and mosquitoes and Nigeria is borrowing money.
Roselyn,
you know?
is there no a clash with this genre of music that you talked about with our tradition? It's sort of, I don't see orchestra, violin as instruments that are original to Africa. So how do you bring it home? How do you make it unique to our own
That's
style?
the Afri-classical genre. So we perform music. We started by taking high life pieces that people knew and making them classical with our instruments. And then we continued by collecting the music of people who had composed, and their music is just sitting there because there are no orchestras to perform them. Nigerians abroad and at home, they have the music, they've composed the music. Whether we like it or not, the world is global. We can't shut our doors to everything. We wear shoes now. Our ancestors didn't wear shoes.
We wear shoes.
And
they wore
This is the wrong shoes.
No, you see this side of the team.
No.
We will not agree.
We do.
Did we have shoes?
No. See, we had sandals. People came and we reformed what we had. And then they took some of what we had and reformed what they had.
Yes,
It's an exchange.
exactly.
It's an exchange.
Okay.
We definitely didn't wear the suits.
So we wore leather. But don't say we didn't wear shoes.
Okay, no problem. No point.
Next thing is that we didn't wear clothes.
No, we wore clothes. We wore sandals. No problem. And they had this beautiful, nicely formed. No, not a narrative.
Okay, all right.
But I want to point this out. When we do theater, they always depict them without shoes. That's a terrible narrative. It is a terrible narrative.
It's a bad narrative.
You know?
We need to change that
We're
narrative.
changing that.
But even
We're changing that, yeah.
It's wrong to say
Egyptian.
it's wrong to say it's not African. Because what of those instruments are the
Northern
Thank you.
It actually
originates.
No, it's not. That's the original thing. It came from Egypt. And today it's known as a European instrument. It is
Imagine. They stole it.
We need to write our own
they
stories.
didn't steal it. We didn't write our own
Sister, you can't
stories.
keep our records.
Going back to the conversation.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, let's go to yes. Go ahead.
So this table is so funny. This Afri-classical we're talking about, is there any way you can infuse local instruments? So I know it's classical, you're going to be doing the violin and all that, but can we add our talking drum?
We have pieces that have all of that.
Talking drum.
We have
this
pieces
Igbo,
that the gong, the native
Shekere, what do they
flute.
call
We
it?
have compositions that have that, and they feature at our concerts. Terra Culture, has supported us a bit with their stage, and we even have a concert coming up on Sunday, 30th January.
Please invite us.
Yes, you're all invited.
I wanted to ask this important question because I think you raised it earlier. Lots of young people are talented. They know these things, but they're doing odd jobs.
Yes.
Now, how can we make it profitable for them to get back into into this genre
They
of music?
align.
How do we get, how does the government harness this talented young people and make it a profitable industry for them to use? Terra Culture is like the only person that is really giving them a
doing
platform.
anything.
Yeah.
And our goal is the Lagos Opera House. Because an opera house would employ thousands of people behind the scenes and in front as well. It's also something that is looked at as foreign, but it is not. It is an employer. It is a huge employer of labor to have
Lagos
such a Lagos Opera House.
Has it been proposed already?
Well, that's what we're working on. Trying to get the governor to give us land, to give us attention. Amen to that.
Like a Broadway thingy where you guys are now going to
Bigger
do
than that. I mean, it's not going to be the massive-sized ones you have in Europe that are impossible to fill, but something that is of international standard. So it's not only when foreigners want to display our culture, they take us and make us look good. We have to make ourselves look good at home.
We tell our story.
Not ad hoc stages or temporary stages, a fixed stage that people all over the world can say, I'm going to Lagos for the weekend to watch
the Lagos Opera House.
What do I
That's
know?
why people come from all over the world to come. They come to Shrine because Shrine is we have established
something.
Yes.
Structure.
It's not just a structure.
Brand.
It's a movement. It's a mindset.
A brand.
A movement, really.
All right, that's all we can take on the show. Thank you so much. Is there any other things you want us to know?
Please give them
Events
land.
coming up on 30th.
Thank you, please. Yes, 30th January at Terra Culture, 5 p.m. And we're going to have works by Samuel Akpabot, Nigerian ballet. He composed these in the 60s, and no one has ever performed them. So we're going to have that on stage. We have the Leap of Academy Ballet School. Leap of Dance.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're definitely going to talk about that.
Thank
and
you.
we'll try to attend the event too. Okay, that's all we can take on the show today. Have a great seat.
These people, don't mind them. On this table.